Hello, it's been a while since I've recorded a video, but some things have happened lately that I really need to talk to you about. A few years ago, you may recall that I was placed on the sanction list by Russia. It quite stunned me because I didn't even realize I was on the radar. But apparently I was sanctioned because I was a Protestant minister and because I am an LGBT activist. So because of that, I've kind of kept an eye out on what's going on in Russia. And if you've been following it lately, you realize that some really awful things are happening in Russia. The Russian court has sided with the Russian government, it's sided with the Russian Orthodox Church. And so LGBT organizations have been labeled terrorist organizations. LGBT activists face the threat of prison sentences for their LGBT activism. And at the same time, there's been something happening in Canada. I don't know if you've been following it, but there's a court case out of Alberta of a man who's been charged with terrorist charges, who was posting online how to build explosive devices in order to be able to kill gay people. And he had talked about attacking, I believe it was the Calgary Pride Parade. For both of these situations, if you look underneath them a little bit, you'll see that religious-based discrimination is the issue. Now, this is not anti-Islam. It's just the fundamentalist wing of Islam. In the same way, it's not anti-Christian in Russia. It's a more fundamentalist version of the Russian Orthodox Church, more specifically, the leader of the Russian Orthodox Church. But religious-based discrimination is behind both of these situations. We can't just assume that the plight of gay people is so awful in some other countries around the world. Indeed, it is in many countries. But there are also problems here in Canada, as evidenced by this court case in Alberta. Both of these point out to the importance of Rainbow Faith and Freedom. I'm very proud of how our organization, our registered charity, is going about confronting religious-based homophobia and religious-based transphobia. We talk about confronting it from the bottom up by changing local hearts and minds, by changing local institutions in order to be able to be more inclusive. Yes, the top-down stuff is important. Fighting for changes of law is important. But if you look at the situation in Russia, there was a period where the LGBT community was growing dramatically, able to have offices and to be public, and now we're losing all of that. And we have to be able to deal with religion differently. We have to be able to change it from the bottom up. So I make no apologies to talk to you today about how you can help. You can help by spreading the word about Rainbow Faith and Freedom and going into our website. You can help by volunteering, and we need volunteers in a lot of different areas. Or you can help by giving financially. The work of confronting religious-based homophobia and religious-based transphobia is the least funded of all of the different segments of funding for LGBT human rights. And yet, all over the world, activists say it's the biggest problem. Religion's not the enemy. It's religious-based discrimination. And the examples I give you today were both in terms of the Christian religion and as the Islamic tradition. So if you want to help, please go to rainbowfaithandfreedom.org, our website. You can click on the little donate button and help. You can volunteer or find some way to be involved in confronting the kinds of discrimination that the LGBT community faces internationally and the 2S LGBT community faces here in Canada. We need your help. We need your involvement. Blessings as we continue on this work, hopefully as we continue on this work together. Thank you.